Hello everyone. In this chapter, I will be discussing the internet and social media. But before anything else, let us first define internet. Okay. So, what is internet? Internet is defined as a network or a system that connects millions of computers worldwide. It serves as a bridge that links all of us despite borders. Moving on to its history. Let us walk through to its origin and how the internet evolves over time. But let us examine first who invented the internet. So, it is stated that the development of internet required the collaboration of numerous pioneering scientists and engineers who joined their efforts to form the ARPANET. ARPANET is short for Advanced Research Projects Agency Network and was designed to make it simpler for individuals to access computers. And one of the reasons why internet is formed is because to provide a more effective communication for military. According to Science Media Museum, the origins of the internet may be traced back to the 1950s in the United States. The Cold War was its peak, with, with massive tensions between North America and Soviet Union. Both nations possessed lethal nuclear weapons, and people lived in terror of long-range surprise assaults. The US realized it needed a communications infrastructure that could withstand a nuclear assault from the Soviet Union. By decentralizing the network, if one server of computers failed, the others could continue to function since they could simply retrieve the same information from another server. Now, how did the ARPANET evolve into Internet? In the 1960s, the United States government, businesses, and colleges collaborated to develop a system that would allow computers across the country to share information. 9 years later, they developed ARPANET, an early form of the Internet. And a year after, in 1970, after scientists Can and Vinton Cerf developed Transmission Control Protocol and Internet Protocol, electronic mail or email was invented in 1971 as a method of sending message from one computer to another. Ray Tomlinson, an American computer programmer, is credited with inventing electronic mail. He pioneered the usage of the @ sign to distinguish between an individual's user's name and that of their system. Example, username at then the computer. In the mid 1970s, many groups of computers had been linked together in networks, and that is to connect the network's machines, known as routers, were also invented. After a decade, ARPANET adopted TCP/IP, or also known as Transmission Control Protocol, on January 1, 1983, and from the researchers began to assemble the network of networks. That became the modern internet. And after a few years, to connect the network, machines known as routers were invented. In 1989, the hypertext were invented. A hypertext link connects different parts of an electronic document or different documents like WWW or World Wide Web. The World Wide Web or the web was created in the early 1990s on the basis of hypertext. The online world then took on a more recognizable form in 1990 when computer scientist Tim Berners-Lee invented the World Wide Web. Without further ado, let us also walk through the history of internet in the Philippines. Before the information communication technology in the Philippines, or before 1928, telecommunications in the Philippines was segmented. You could only call people within your own small city. In 1928, telecoms in the Philippines, American owned PLDT, was incorporated and given the franchise to establish and operate telephones services in the Philippines. Small phone companies in the provinces were acquired to speed up the rollout process. And in 1968, Filipinos connecting Filipinos to the world. The PLDT became a Filipino controlled corporation bossed by Ramon Cuanco. And in 1987, Cellular Telephone Network. The PLDT establishes the country's first cellular telephone network. And in 1993, it was the birth of the Philippine Internet. With the support of the Department of Science and Technology and the Industrial Research Foundation, the PhilNet project, now PageNet, was born. A year after, it was the first internet connection. Binjit Tan, who was working for CommunicationNet, established Philippines' first connection to the internet at a PLDT network center in Makati City. In 2013, the massive growth of the country's mobile networks. Our mobile cellular subscriptions reached 102 million, and after a year, in 2014, it was the fastest growing connections. The Philippines named the fastest growing internet population in the last 5 years with growth of 531%. Number of Philippine internet users at 38 million out of a population of 100 million. In 2017, it was the internet connection population penetration. There was a total of 119 million mobile phone subscriptions already in the country. That is 170% penetration rate. So that concludes about the history of the internet. Now, without further ado, let us also examine the world of social media. What then is a social media? Social media refers to the means of interactions among people in which they create, share, and or exchange information and ideas in virtual communities and networks. Next is its history. Of course, just like the internet, social media has its history as well. The first social network. In 1997, the first social networking sites launched, Bolt and 6 Degrees. And a year after, in 1998, it was the birth of social blogging. Open Diary became the first online diary platform. Followed by 1999, LiveJournal would enter the social blogging arena. So, a decade after, from social dating to social gaming, Friendster has been launched. In this section, let us identify the rise of today's most popular social platforms. In 2003, LinkedIn and MySpace were launched. LinkedIn is a business and employment focused social media platform that works through websites and mobile apps. It was launched on May 5, 2003. MySpace is a popular social networking site located in the United States. The site, which debuted on August 1, 2003, and was the first social network to attract a global audience and had a tremendous impact on technology, pop culture, and music. And it was followed by Facebook, or also known as Metaverse today, and Flickr. Facebook is a platform where users are allowed to share and post videos, news, photographs, and everything what you feel. It was launched in 2004. And Flickr was created by Ludicorp in 2004 and was a popular for amateur and professional photographers to host high-resolution photos. In 2005, Reddit, social news aggregation, content rating, and discussion website, was launched. In 2006, Twitter, a free social networking site where users broadcast short posts known as tweets. It is also where users usually express their feelings or opinions on a particular issue or a trend. And in 2007, Tumblr was launched and is a microblogging and social networking website founded by David Karp in 2007. In 2009, Sina Weibo is a Chinese microblogging website launched by Sina Corporation on August 14, 2009. It is a flat platform based on fostering user relationships to share, disseminate, and receive information. In 2010, Pinterest, Instagram, and Quora. Pinterest is a visual discovery engine for finding ideas like recipes, home and style inspiration, and more. Instagram, on the other hand, is a photo and video sharing social networking service owned by American company Meta Platforms. Meanwhile, Quora is a place to gain and share knowledge. It is a platform to ask questions and connect with people who contribute unique insights and quality answers. In 2011, Snapchat is an American multimedia instant messaging app and service developed by Snap Incorporated. It was launched again in 2011. In 2013, Telegram followed. It allows you to send and receive messages from your contacts, even without sharing your phone number. And in 2015, Discord was launched. It is a flat platform where it is easiest way to talk over voice, video, and text. Talk, chat, hang out, and stay close with your friends and communities. And in 2017, TikTok was launched. Trends start here. On a device or on a web, viewers can watch and discover millions of personalized short videos. And in 2020, Clubhouse was launched. It is a new type of social network based on voice where people around the world come together to talk, listen, and learn from each other in real time. Moving on to Philippine social media history. The Philippines' gradual digitalization has progressed since the country was connected to the World Wide Web. One of the first social media networking sites in the nation to take off and succeed was Friendster in 2002. However, eventually Facebook has surpassed Friendster as the most popular app in the country. So, that concludes the history of social media, and now, let us settle ourselves and take a moment to think about how do the internet and social media influence us. As we have seen in this video, a man is being slapped, portraying the reality of many of us. From this representation, the internet and social media influence our behavior, perspectives, and character. As they say, what we always see is what we tend to believe. In this section, I will allow you to ask yourself about this, and the answer must be found within you as well. Let us also examine the impact of internet and social media in politics, commerce, education, world of work, and relationship. First is politics. You know, politicians all across political parties have been using social media platforms for their campaign. Example, last year, May 2022 elections. Politicians were doing their own way in using the internet or social media as a means to make their name widely known. Commerce. It is evident that perhaps each one of us has a, Lazada, Shopee, or Amazon in US. This means that the rise of social media can be used as a tool to generate insights, stimulate demand, and create targeted product offerings. Third is education. Without the internet, there will be also no online classes as what we do today. The internet plays a huge role in education as it serves as a medium. Aside from delivering classes online, it can also be an access to the thousands of data that help students and teachers discovering and learning new things. Fourth is world of work. Internet and social media eases our burden in our work. For instance, disseminating memorandum or information, gathering and ending data online, and etc. And lastly, relationship. A lot of people using social media to find friends online, and some are to flirt out of boredom. Examples are dating app like Omegle, and even Facebook already has its feature. And aside from that, it can also be used as a medium to contact loved ones from distance. And before I end this video, social media or the internet in general, like other things, has its pros and cons, or the advantages and disadvantages. It is evident that the rise of internet helps us in many ways, but in some way, it also becomes a tool to commit crime. Thus, it does not only mean that the use of internet or social media is in your own hands. How will you keep a good atmosphere while using it and free from toxicities? And that would be all. Thank you.